So let's look at iTunes. iTunes is a free download from the Apple website, and you install it into your computer. On the left hand side you can see here it has music, movies, TV shows. So this is where it manages your media content on your actual computer. You can then click here and actually visit the store, and this is where you can go and purchase different music, videos. Whenever I'm in the iTunes store, I can just come up here and perhaps look at what apps are available. I could perhaps download particular books. Or I might be interested in music or movies. And then I have my devices. So you can see I have my iPad plugged in here. So if I click on my iPad, and this is the thing that we're really interested in here, you can see again I have a number of tabs up at the top. So the first thing what it does is it tells me my version. So it tells me my iPad software is up to date. If ever I'm having problems, what I can do a factory reset and restore the iPad to its original settings. You'll notice that I actually back my iPad up to the iCloud, so I don't actually back it up to this computer. The reason I don't do that is that if anything happened to my computer, then I've lost my backups. So I back it up to the iCloud. If I scroll down, I have a number of options, and whenever the iPad is connected, it opens iTunes. I could choose to perhaps sync the iPad over Wi-Fi now, so you don't need to actually plug it in. I can sync only certain songs and videos, and there are a number of different settings you can just change here. Most of the time you'll just leave it as default. Down here you've got a capacity management, so I have a 16 gig iPad, and you can see that the majority of the things that I use my iPad for are my apps. Let's move across. So if I click on info, so this is still about my iPad, so I've chosen not to sync my contacts. I have Microsoft Outlook here on the computer and I don't actually sync that, and I've chosen not to sync my calendars. If I click on apps, so here you can see all of the apps that are on my iPad. Some of them are checked, some of them aren't. I don't actually have all of my downloaded apps on my iPad, and also from here what I can do is I can actually rearrange them, so I can just drag on the different apps and rearrange them. In order for that to change to have taken place on my iPad, I then need to click the apply button in the bottom right. I can also check so any new apps are automatically synced. And then below what I have is the ability to share documents between iPad and this computer. So for example, if I had a PowerPoint slide, what I could do is Keynote is the Apple equivalent. What I could do is add that PowerPoint slide here, and then Keynote would be able to read and access that PowerPoint presentation. Tones, I can sync the tones. You can see that up here in the top left there is a tones. So I can sync any tones that are on my computer. If you ever want to make unique tones, there are various apps to do that. And then music, movies, they all have a very familiar approach, and what that is do you want to sync the entire music library or all your videos or selected ones? Podcast is quite an interesting one. What you can do is there are a number of free podcasts that you can download onto your computer and then sync with your iPad, and it means that you can just listen to them on the go. Books, download books. The iPad is a very useful tool if you want to use it as a book reader. And then finally photos, and you can sync all the photos that you take. If your iPad is a 2 or a version 3, you'll have a camera on it, and you can sync the photos. So there you go. So an introduction to iTunes and what happens when you plug in your iPad and the various configuration changes that you can make.